What if one of the biggest missing nutrients in your diet was also one of the most important for controlling inflammation, improving sleep, supporting collagen, balancing blood sugar, and maybe even slowing aging? And what if the reason your grandparents got plenty of it is because they ate in a way that we've almost completely abandoned? I'm talking about glycine. Research suggests many modern humans are significantly deficient in glycine, and that deficiency may be quietly contributing to chronic inflammation, poor sleep, faster aging, metabolic dysfunction, and even cardiovascular issues. In fact, a landmark paper called A Weak Link in Metabolism found that your body only produces about 3 grams. Your diet may provide another 1 to 3 grams, but your total needs may leave you with a deficit of nearly 10 grams daily. And that's exactly why so many people are now supplementing with it. So in this video, I'm breaking down the best glycine supplements, how much to take, which option may be the best for your goals, whether that's sleep, inflammation, metabolism, collagen, or healthy aging. And yes, you can get enough from food, and I'll link to my full food first video below, but because we've gotten so many questions about supplements specifically, I wanted to make a complete guide. But first, why are so many of us deficient in glycine in the first place, and why does it matter so much? Now, researchers call glycine a conditionally essential amino acid. That means, yes, your body can make some, but not enough, especially in the modern world. And that matters because glycine is involved in collagen and glutathione production, sleep regulation, nervous system calming, detoxification, blood sugar balance, calming inflammation, and cardiovascular health. Now, glycine is not some trendy supplement. It's a nutrient and foundational biology. And while I have made many videos all about its roles in various aspects of health, the most exciting benefit is its ability to potentially prevent unnecessary inflammation, as described by biochemist and glycine expert Dr. Joel Brind.
Inflammation is not a normal response to injury. Macrophages, these are the first responder cells of the immune system. They're just like the first responders out there in society, the ambulances, the fire trucks. They have a dual role, and they get activated to show up and clean up the mess, or they get activated to draw their weapons out and start shooting because some infection has gotten involved. That's really the only purpose of inflammation, is the first response to infection. So as you say, why does that happen? It happens because there's no trigger lock on the guns that these cells will draw. So glycine is just the natural trigger lock. So it's the same cells, just like the cops out there on the highway will respond to an accident. But they're not going to draw their guns and start shooting up the place unless there are bad actors present.
And without enough glycine, inflammation becomes easier to trigger and harder to turn off, which can cause fatigue, brain fog, poor sleep, insulin resistance, joint pain, faster aging, skin issues, digestive dysfunction. Now, our grandparents accidentally got plenty of glycine because they ate the whole animal: bones, skin, tendons, slow-cooked cuts, homemade broths. And yet today, we eat boneless, skinless chicken breasts, lean muscle meats, protein powders, and almost none of the collagen-rich tissues that supply glycine.
Why is inflammation worse now than it was for previous generations? Because previous generations, they used to throw the bones in the soup instead of the trash.
And then we wonder why inflammation is everywhere, and 60% of us suffer from degenerative disease. Even worse, we have 3 reasons many of us are deficient.
A lot of things, at least 3 things that are going into being glycine deficient. It's the quality of the muscle meat, the fact that we're not eating the bones, and also the fact that our body is making less. That all contributes to making us glycine deficient.
So the more muscle meat and the less collagen you eat, the more weight we gain, the bigger the gap becomes. And this is why researchers estimate many people are running between an 8 and 10 gram glycine deficit every single day, and why Dr. Brind recommends 8 to 10 grams per day.
Because glycine is a small molecule, it's water soluble, cycles through you very quickly. That's why I say you need it every day. It's part of a daily diet.
Of course, this is not medical advice, so talk with your doctor before trying the supplement protocol. But in research, around 3 grams has been used for sleep, while metabolic studies have used up to 5 grams 3 times a day, and much higher doses, even up to 40 grams, have been studied in certain mental health conditions like schizophrenia. But for general replacement, glycine researcher Dr. Joel Brind recommends around 8 to 10 grams, possibly more if you eat a lot of muscle meat, since methionine from muscle meat can increase the body's demand for glycine and glutathione support.
You know, the cattle are just fattened up on feedlots with the corn and soybean meal, and there's very little collagen even in the muscle meat. So you end up, and we eat more than we ever had before, more and more methionine, less and less glycine, more and more we have this amino acid imbalance.
So here are my favorite ways to get enough glycine. Option number 1, bone broth protein or collagen. Now, if you've been around this channel, you know I'm a food first type of person. So even my supplements tend to stay as close to whole food as possible. That's why my favorite option is bone broth protein powder. Now, bone broth is naturally rich in glycine because collagen is packed with it. Almost every third amino acid in collagen is glycine. Now, ours is made from just bones and water, and we also have savory flavors you can add to soups, rice, veggies, or ground beef, plus sweet flavors like chocolate, vanilla, and caramel sea salt for coffees, smoothies, or milk. So each scoop gives around 13 to 15 grams of protein with roughly 2.5 to 3 grams of glycine. And personally, I do 2 to 3 scoops on every single day, depending on what I'm eating. And yes, you can use collagen too. It's just often a more processed version, and it won't contain the other nutrients from bone, like minerals and joint supportive factors, but it can also work. Option 2 is free-form glycine. So plain glycine powder is usually the most cost-effective option, around 10 to 30 cents per gram from brands like Pure Encapsulations, Life Extension, Now Foods, Microingredients, and Nutricos. And it naturally tastes slightly sweet and mixes easily into coffee, tea, water, or bedtime drinks. Now the upside is it's affordable, simple, and easy to dose, and the downside is it's a highly processed powder. Larger doses can actually cause GI discomfort, sleepiness, or taste fatigue in some people. Sensitive individuals may also tolerate glycine better from food sources than supplements. Now, if you try it, choose a clean brand, start low, like 1 to 2 grams at a time, and increase slowly, or spread smaller doses throughout the day. And if it makes you groggy the next morning, try taking it early in the day instead of before bed. And whenever you add a new supplement, introduce it by itself so you can clearly track how your body responds. Option number 3 is Sweetamine. So Sweetamine is Dr. Joel Brin's glycine supplement designed to deliver the full 8-gram glycine gap target in one serving. Now, many people stir it into coffee or oatmeal or make a morning glycine lemonade like Dr. Brin does himself. Now, it's designed to work as a sweetener and includes a small amount of erythritol to reduce glycine's bitter aftertaste. Now, the biggest advantage is simplicity. One easy serving instead of measuring multiple scoops throughout the day. And the downside is that it's more expensive than plain glycine powder, though you can still split the dose into smaller servings if needed. Option number 4 is Glynac. This combines glycine with N-acetylcysteine, and this is where the longevity conversation gets really exciting. Now, research from Baylor and others have shown that Glynac supplementation has improved mitochondrial function, oxidative stress, insulin resistance, inflammation, and muscle function in older adults. Why? Because glycine and cysteine are both required for glutathione production, which declines as we age. So in these trials, they were using about 100 milligrams per kilogram per day of glycine, which would be about 5.5 grams of glycine for me. And for N-acetylcysteine, it would be about 130 milligrams per kilogram per day, or around 7 grams for me each day. Now, usually split up throughout the day. So this is another option if you want to supplement with glycine, best for those who are concerned with aging, making more glutathione, mitochondrial support, and recovery. But it's also more expensive. And some people might not need extra cysteine, as it's an amino acid that's far more abundant in our diet, especially if you eat a lot of meat like chicken, turkey, and dark poultry, meat, beef, and even eggs.
Processed meats are not great for you, but the worst processing is cutting the meat off the bone and throwing the bones away. That's the worst kind of meat processing that we do.
I love that.
So it's not the red meat so much that's killing you, it's the red meat not in balance with what it's normally attached to, the bones and the connective tissues.
It's also important to note that if you're looking to fill the glycine gap, as Dr. Brin calls it, the 8 to 10 grams per day, depending on the supplement, you may not be able to do it with Glynac alone. And some people don't do well with cysteine supplements, so glycine alone may work better. Option number 5, magnesium glycinate. Now this one causes a lot of confusion. So yes, magnesium glycinate can be a good yet unexpected source of glycine.
Magnesium, we're all deficient in magnesium. We got to have magnesium. So what's the best organic form of magnesium you could have? Now they're all selling magnesium glycinate.
I love
Well,
this
magnesium glycinate is 86% glycine. To get 300 milligrams of magnesium, you have to take like 2.5 grams worth of these big capsules or tablets of magnesium glycinate. Why? Because 86% of what you're taking is glycine.
But people think they're getting a lot of glycine, and usually they're not. So magnesium glycinate is primarily a magnesium supplement. The glycine is attached in relatively small amounts. For example, 200 milligrams of elemental magnesium from magnesium glycinate may provide roughly 1 to 2 grams of glycine depending on the form. Now this is helpful, but it may not actually fill the glycine gap. So This is best for people using magnesium for sleep or for stress, but not usually as a primary glycine strategy. It can also work well to support magnesium status and gentle sleep support, but people often overestimate what they're getting in terms of the glycine content. Okay, last, let's just review the dosing by goal based on the research. So for sleep, 3 grams before bed is the best starting point. Now for blood sugar and metabolic health, 3 to 5 grams with meals, sometimes 5 grams 3 times a day. For general anti-inflammatory support, 8 to 10 grams daily. Split doses often work best according to Dr. Brin's research. For longevity and GLYNAC protocols, around 8 grams of glycine paired with N-acetylcysteine, and sometimes much higher depending on the protocol. For mental health and nervous system support, the ranges vary, and it can range much higher than other doses. Some therapeutic discussions go up to 20 to 40 grams daily, but this should be very individualized and carefully monitored with your doctor's support. For collagen and connective tissue support, you can do the 8 to 10 grams daily minimum, especially if your diet is low in collagen-rich foods. Where would I start? Start with food first, always. Bone broth, collagen, gelatin, slow-cooked meats, pork rinds, skin on poultry, tendon-rich cuts. Most people tolerate food beautifully and then supplement strategically. So my simplest recommendation is start with 3 grams before bed in the form of bone broth or protein powder, or go straight to the full 8-gram daily replacement using something like Sweetamine or a bulk glycine powder. Some people feel amazing at 3 grams, some people feel better at 1, and some need the full 8 grams to feel their very best. This is highly individualized. So if large doses of free glycine upset your stomach, dial it back. Use smaller doses, split them up, or lean hard into food-based sources. But the truth is, glycine isn't trendy, it's a missing nutrient, and it's one of the most important nutrients we've quietly removed from the modern diet. And restoring it may help your sleep, your joints, your skin, your blood sugar, your inflammation, your digestion, your nervous system, and maybe even your lifespan. So my question for you is, are you using bone broth, collagen, gelatin, or glycine supplements? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single one. And if this video helped you, hit the like button, the subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Remember, eat nose to tail, not just the muscle meats. Your body will thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.